Tapped here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys. How are we doing today?
Taylor Horton Tucker. Horton gives a hoot.
Wait, did you just go Dr. Zeus on me?
Yeah. You saw what he did last night.
You know
and
what
Big Drum.
I saw your Los Angeles Lakers pull off their third huge upset in the last 8 nights without LeBron James. I think they're trying to send a message. We don't need the king.
Okay.
We don't need the king?
They did something your Clippers couldn't do, Skip. They did something your Clippers couldn't do.
Well, we welcome LeBron back tonight for the worst team in pro basketball, the Rockets, who are 3.5 games worse than even the Detroit Pistons. Way to go,
He
LeBron.
just needed another day, just another day to rest up. Okay, Shannon, we will get to your Lakers, Skip. I promise you'll have your moment to talk about the king, but we also have full access to Fox's NFL Week 1 schedule for you. Later on in the show, you are not going to want to miss it. We will have full reaction, but I can't believe I'm doing this, guys. We are beginning again with Tim Tebow. Yes, it is Tebow time, as he is reportedly set to sign a deal with the Jaguars. But not everyone in Jacksonville is happy about it. According to a report yesterday, there are people in the Jaguars building who are not, quote, thrilled about the potential signing. Shannon, what does this tell you? How are you feeling about it now?
Well, I'm really not surprised, and that's why it was a bad idea. And people say, normally teams says we don't want distraction, but it's already become a distraction to some within that locker room, Skip. You know, pro football, pro sports is supposed to be the last bastion, where the only thing that matters is ability. Now, 6 years ago, Tim Tebow walked away from the game of football because he said, you know what? I don't feel I'm getting a fair shake. I'm going to go try my hand at professional baseball. Professional baseball turned their back on him. So he says, you know what? I got a college coach that's not an NFL coach. I'm going to try my hand at pro football at a different position. If Tim Tebow had the ability that Skip Bayless and even Tim Tebow believes he has, he wouldn't be in this position. He would have still been playing quarterback in the National Football League. Or he would have swallowed his pride and said, you know what? Since you guys don't want to give me an opportunity, or my ability doesn't allow me to be consistent at the quarterback position, I'm going to switch positions. I'm going to play tight end. I'm going to play H-back. I'm willing to play special teams. But that was beneath him because Tim Tebow could not see himself as anything other than a quarterback. As he said, I quote, my dreams was playing quarterback in the NFL. Then all of a sudden, that dream turned into a nightmare after 3 years. He says, well, you know what? I can go pick up a baseball bat. Y'all guys don't even really know how talented I am. You're not that talented, Tim, because if you were as talented as you thought you were, you wouldn't be in this position. Skip, this is why it's a bad idea. You already see the coaches, but this is Urban Meyer, our good friend Urban Meyer, who worked at Fox for a long period of time, flexing his muscle. That's what he's always done at the University of Florida. I'm going to do it Urban's way. At Ohio State, I'm going to do it Urban's way. That's why he hired the strength and conditioning coach that got relieved of his duty after 20 years at Iowa. I'm Urban Meyer. I'm in total control. This is the only reason that he gave Tim Tebow an opportunity. I'm Urban Meyer. I'm in control. Skip, the guys in the locker room, they would have, if Tim Tebow was coming in and he's going to be a quarterback, he's going to be a backup, maybe. But Skip, nobody's following a third-string tight end that they don't believe gave it a guy. Was the opportunity that he got was not based on ability, but it was based on who you know. Skip, the thing is for me, I'll be upset because I was a 7th-round tight end. What if Dan Reeves would have given somebody that opportunity that he know, or a friend of a friend? Shannon Sharp misses out. Would they say, well, Shannon, you've been playing special teams? People don't know this, Skip, but I'm going to turn it over to you. All my high school career, I was the long snapper. Every game of my college career, except the last 8 games of my senior year, Skip, I was the long snapper. Yes, believe that. An All-American wide receiver was the long snapper on the punt team, on PAT and field goals. That's what I did. So I played special teams. So when I got to the NFL as a wide receiver, and they said, well, son, we need you to play some special teams also. Okay, what do you want me to play? Can you be a gunner? Can you get down the field and go tackle the punter? Yep. Can you play an L3, run down the field on kickoffs? Yes. Can you block in the front line? Yes. I did all those things, Skip. Tim Tebow, had he been a tight end or had been willing to move the tight end and try it 6 years ago, Skip, I believe people would have been more accepting of this. But because they know he only got this because he's Tim Tebow and because Urban Meyer is flexing his muscle, people are you're going to have resentment. You're going to get pushback, and I'm not surprised.
Nor am I. Because when I read this story last night, I literally laughed out loud. He's back, and he's doing it again. Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
In all my career, my lengthy career of covering sports, all kinds of sports, from Olympics to golf to hockey to baseball to basketball to your sport, the National Football League, I have never, ever seen anything like the Tim Tebow effect.
No.
He is simply, improbably, impossibly the most polarizing player we've ever seen in any sport.
Yes.
And obviously, we have seen players get in huge trouble off the field, off the court. And yet, even though Tim Tebow, to my knowledge, has never been in any kind of trouble, to my knowledge, he's never done anything except wear his religion on his sleeve, but he's never been particularly outspoken. He has worked as hard as he could work to not be controversial. And yet, there's something about this guy that just makes the blood boil. Everybody's blood boil. Everybody has an extremely strong opinion about Tim Tebow. And it crosses racial lines, it crosses political lines, it crosses spiritual lines. Everybody has an opinion because everybody sees this guy as standing for something that maybe even he doesn't want to stand for. He stands for the far right versus the left, or he stands for the conformist versus the nonconformist in the football context. It's one thing after another with Tim Tebow, and it makes people polarize. They go way over here or they go way over here. And it's not surprising to me. Now, remember, this report's just about the building, the hierarchy, the front office, that there are people inside the building who already are not thrilled with the possibility of bringing in Tim Tebow. What's the number one complaint we've heard back to his Florida days? He's too big of a distraction. It's because there's always media backlash to Tim Tebow. Either you think he can play because he's clutch and he does nothing but win, as my music video said back in 2011 on ESPN, all he does is win. Either you think of him in that context, or you think of him as he's a lucky bust who can't throw and is getting jobs and opportunities that many other quarterbacks, especially running quarterbacks, never got. And now we cross the racial line into how many black quarterbacks should have gotten an opportunity that Tim got, because he was obviously a late first-round draft pick. And I get all that. It's so lightning rod. It pushes us way over here, and I'm sure people in that building who did not experience Tim Tebow the way Urban Meyer did at Florida are losing their minds. Like, what are we doing? Urban hasn't coached a single down in the National Football League, and he's going to bring in 33-year-old Tim Tebow and try to make him a quote-unquote tight end. I've told you, I don't think it's tight end at all. I will